Welcome to Subject Soup. China flattened 700 mountains to build a futuristic city, promising innovation and prosperity. But years later, the world was shocked by the unexpected consequences. Was it a bold success or a costly mistake? The truth will surprise you. China cut 700 mountains years later. The world can't believe what happened. Welcome back to the channel, where today we're tackling something out of a construction tycoon's wildest dreams. China decided to take urban expansion to the next level by literally leveling 700 mountains. The whole idea was to kickstart development in the interior regions of China, aiming to balance the country's economic boom that had mostly been concentrated along the coast. The targeted area was the Lanzhou New Area in Gansu province, a place that was not exactly bustling with activity, primarily due to its challenging geography and lack of resources. The plan was quite straightforward in theory: flatten the mountains to create flat land where there was none, paving the way for a massive new city. This wasn't just about building a few towers and calling it a day. No, this was about constructing a brand new urban center from scratch. The government and developers hoped to attract residents and businesses from more crowded parts of China, promoting new economic opportunities in this underdeveloped region. However, this wasn't the first time China had embarked on such a massive geographical makeover. Historically, similar projects had been attempted, but on a much smaller scale. This time, the scope was unprecedented, and the stakes were incredibly high. The project aimed to transform 500 square miles of rugged terrain into a thriving metropolis, expected to boost the local economy significantly. The logistical challenges of such a project were enormous. Imagine the amount of earth that had to be moved and the level of precision required to ensure that the newly formed land was suitable for urban development. The engineering feats alone were enough to make this project a topic of global discussion. Planners utilized advanced technology and heavy machinery to execute the plan, all while trying to mitigate the environmental impact as much as possible. Despite the clear economic intentions behind the Lanzhou New Area, the project was met with skepticism from various experts and environmentalists right from the start. They raised concerns about the feasibility of such a large-scale transformation, especially in a region known for its arid climate and environmental challenges. The debate was heated. Could this ambitious project really succeed without causing more problems than it solved? What was the grand vision for the Lanzhou New Area? The Chinese government didn't just want another city, they wanted a futuristic hub that could lead the charge in China's internal development. The plan included creating state-of-the-art infrastructure, industrial parks, and residential areas that could accommodate hundreds of thousands of people. This new city was expected to be a model of modern urban planning, complete with the latest technology and sustainable practices. To make this dream a reality, the project attracted investments totaling billions of dollars. The area was set to house high-tech industries, which would ideally lead to job creation and attract a skilled workforce. The economic projections were optimistic, suggesting that the GDP of the region could skyrocket if everything went according to plan. This was a key part of China's broader strategy to decentralize its economic activities and foster growth in its western regions. But economic gains were not the only goals. The planners also envisioned the Lanzhou New Area as a cultural and educational hub. Universities, research institutions, and cultural centers were part of the blueprint, aimed at fostering innovation and education in the region. This holistic approach was meant to ensure that the new area would not only be economically vibrant but also intellectually and culturally rich. However, the scale of construction required to turn this vision into reality was colossal. Not only did hundreds of square kilometers of land need to be flattened, but the infrastructure needed to support a modern city, like roads, utilities, and telecommunications, had to be built from scratch. This required meticulous planning and coordination between various government bodies and private companies, a Herculean task that involved thousands of workers and a vast amount of resources. The excitement around the project was palpable, with promotional materials and government statements promising a bright future for the Lanzhou New Area. But as the construction progressed, it became clear that turning such a grand vision into reality was no small feat. Delays, logistical challenges, and the sheer scale of the engineering required made the project one of the most ambitious urban development initiatives in recent history. Not everything was smooth sailing. The project, while ambitious and groundbreaking on paper, faced a barrage of criticism and concern from environmental groups and scientists. The main concern was the environmental impact, specifically, the destruction of natural landscapes and potential damage to local ecosystems. The region was already facing significant environmental challenges, including severe air pollution and water scarcity, which were only expected to worsen with the increased strain from new developments. Critics were particularly vocal about the water issue. Lanzhou, being in one of China's driest regions, had a notorious problem with water scarcity. The thought of adding a massive urban population into this equation seemed like a recipe for disaster. Environmentalists argued that without a sustainable plan for water usage, the new area could exacerbate the existing water crisis, leading to severe consequences for both the city and its surroundings. Furthermore, the impact on air quality was another significant concern. The construction process itself was a major source of dust and pollutants, contributing to the already poor air quality in the region. There were fears that once operational, the industrial activities in the new area could further degrade the air quality, posing health risks to residents and worsening the environmental degradation in the area. Despite these concerns, the project moved forward, with proponents arguing that the economic benefits and the potential for technological and infrastructural advancements outweighed the environmental risks. They claimed that the project included measures to mitigate environmental impact, such as reforestation efforts and the implementation of green technologies in construction and urban planning. The debate over the Lanzhou New Area highlighted a broader discussion about the balance between development and environmental preservation. It raised questions about the sustainability of such large-scale land modification projects and whether the long-term environmental costs were being adequately considered in the rush to develop and modernize. As the dust settles and the Lanzhou New Area begins to take shape, the results are mixed. On one hand, the area has seen some economic growth and development. New businesses have sprung up, and there has been some success in attracting industries that contribute to the local economy. The infrastructure, much of it state-of-the-art, is largely in place, and the area has the potential to become a significant economic hub in the region. However, the environmental impacts have been significant and, in some cases, quite severe. The area continues to struggle with air and water quality issues, and the local ecosystem has been heavily impacted by the construction and ongoing industrial activity. Critics argue that these issues were predictable and that the environmental costs of the project have not been justified by the economic gains. Additionally, the population growth in the area has not been as rapid as expected. While some people have moved to the new city, it has not yet become the bustling urban center that was envisioned. This has led to concerns about the viability of such a large investment in infrastructure and development, particularly in light of the ongoing environmental and logistical challenges. The economic impact is also still a matter of debate. While the initial investment has led to some economic activity, the return on that investment is still uncertain. The long-term success of the Lanzhou New Area as an economic hub depends on a variety of factors, including market forces, government policy, and the ability to attract further investment and development. Despite these challenges, the project continues to be a focal point for discussions on urban development and environmental policy in China. It serves as a case study in the complexities of large-scale urban planning, particularly in regions with significant environmental challenges. The Lanzhou New Area is a testament to China's ambitious development goals, but also a reminder of the difficulties and trade-offs that come with such monumental projects. In closing, the Lanzhou New Area is a fascinating example of what happens when big dreams meet harsh realities. It's a reminder that while engineering and economic ambitions can create cities out of mountains, the environmental and social impacts of such projects can be profound and long-lasting. Whether this project will ultimately be seen as a visionary success or an ecological misstep remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, it will continue to be a significant point of discussion and learning for urban developers, environmentalists, and policymakers around the world. That's a wrap on our deep dive into the Lanzhou New Area. What are your thoughts on this massive project? Is the trade-off between development and environment worth it? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time. If you've been enjoying the content and finding it helpful or interesting, I'd love to have you join our community by subscribing to the channel. It's completely free and helps the channel grow so I can keep bringing you even more awesome content. No pressure, but your support means the world to me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.